What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. Today, it's just me and Geeky Boy. Miller is dealing with some family stuff, so he has stepped aside for today. We are going to be carrying on without him with our top 10 quarterback list. This isn't just an individual list made by any of us. We all made our lists and compiled them into a consensus. We're going to talk through our top 10 quarterback list. And then we will talk about the MLB, NBA, whatever else is going on in sports, give you some Wimbledon talk. Everything's going to be great. And so, yeah, before we get into all that, Geek, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just finished posting some stuff for EA. Went to a Rockies game last night. They lost, of course. That's what they do. They won today, though. Because... how many games have I gone to? Hold on. I'm going to look because they've won once when I've been there. How many times have I been there? What's my ratio of wins to losses? Is it better or worse than their ratio? Make your guess, Jake.
Probably worse.
So they have I'm 1-7 in appearances.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not good. So win rate of 12.5% for that. And the Rockies overall are 22.4. So I'm just getting really unlucky.
You're worse than the 2025 Rockies.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy. It's awful. Jake, how you doing?
All right. I'm good. And life is good. My baseball team does not suck. We're in first in our division, so that.
Hey, man. My team does not suck either.
We're currently tied for it. Yeah, they do.
No, it could be worse. They could be the White Sox. We're gonna finish with a better record than the White Sox. I guarantee it. So close to getting Ezekiel Tovar back, man. So close. So close.
Be the key. Yeah.
To me, that is the key. Because if I have to... Ryan Ritter was playing well in AAA, but if I have to see that motherfucker commit 3 errors in a single night again, there's going to be problems. I want my Gold Glove shortstop back. I really do. Also, Brenton Doyle finally remembered how to hit. We might be back. We might be back, ladies and gentlemen. So back.
Can't be back if you were never there.
Hey, man. watch it. Yeah, we'll talk about baseball more later. What are we doing first?
Yeah, so we're doing our consensus top 10 quarterbacks first.
Good.
We're going to start with number 10 up here that I've filed. Let's see. Okay. Number 10 on the Run the North consensus quarterback ranking.
Real quick, before we do that, did anybody that any of us put not make the top 10? Like, did one of the guys so who didn't make it of the guys we individually voted for?
Our 2 honorable mentions. There were 2 guys who didn't make it out of guys that were on our list, and those 2 are Kyler Murray and Brock Purdy.
Somebody put Brock Purdy? I wonder who.
Both did not make the top 10.
Am I right that Miller's the one who put Brock Purdy, or was it you? Was it you?
No, Miller did. Yeah.
What a weirdo. Miller. I put Kyler Murray. He was my number 10.
I know. So number 10 on the consensus overall list is Dakota Rains Prescott.
Yep.
So yeah, Dak was my number 10. He was Miller's somewhere in that range. I think he might have been where he was for you. I don't.
He was 9 for me. I believe. You know, I can just look. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, he was the guy I left just off of mine.
Yeah.
I had Kyler at 10. Dak would have been 11.
He gets the number 10 spot. And we'll talk about who we had above him and everything later. there are some guys that we both had above him that might not be consensus above Dak. Um, oh, I don't feel like Dak's, and this was evident from my list. I don't even feel like Dak's the best quarterback in his right. So
No. I I don't think he's
ergo
top 2 in his division. The issue is at least for me
rookie
and Miller.
tax.
Yep, rookie tax. Yep.
But I think that could be pretty clear at the end of this year. But yeah, so obviously I'm a little bit lower on Dak. He was my number 10. And yeah, I mean I think he's a great passer, a good pure passer. He just he can't stay healthy,
Yep.
and B, I just don't think makes the plays that the guys that's above him on this list do.
I was gonna say,
So,
yeah, he doesn't elevate his team in the way that a lot of the other guys on this list do. Which, I mean, when you're looking at top 10, you're looking at true like elite level guys, and Dak is close, but like I left him completely off my list. To be fair, he would have been number 11, but like, you know, Kyler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. What's next? Who's number 9?
So yeah, that's here. Number 9 is the Las Vegas Raiders' new starting quarterback, Geno Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, Geno is really underrated. He's done a lot of good things for Seattle the past few years. I'm sure he'll continue to do good things with the Raiders. He has, I don't know. It's like I don't really know why people get lower on Geno. I mean, the Seahawks, like his first year in Seattle, he had to play. Really both of his first 2 years in Seattle, he had to play with an O line that was trying to kill him. And so that was never good for him. And yeah, I mean, not that the weapons haven't been there, but I think Geno's really, really good, and he's got good arm talent, can make high level throws. The only knock against Geno is that he's old, but that's about it. I mean, there's nothing that he's done in the past few years that suggests that he's worse than top whatever on this list.
So the thing I've seen a lot on the interwebs is like this idea that Geno didn't elevate his team and was somehow actively the reason the Seahawks were bad, which is insane. He's playing with one of the 5 worst offensive lines in football, a running game that is good when healthy, but wasn't healthy. And he doesn't seem to get the same benefit that a guy like Baker did, where, oh, he turned his career around, and then the coach that turned his career around left, and then he stayed good. Baker gets praise for that. Geno doesn't, even though Geno does more for his offense entirely. It's a very weird thing to like look at the way people's perceptions are of these players. And I don't know if it's just because like the Bucs have had some playoff success and the Seahawks haven't. But it's very strange. Discord is not loving today. Did Jake die? I'm gonna keep rambling. I think he died. Oh. But yeah, Geno does so many things so well. And now there's just 2 versions of me.
I think I'm okay.
Are you back now?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Discord was being goofy. Welcome back. I ranted about Geno for a while.
Yeah, okay, dope.
Who's at 8?
Number 8 is CJ Stroud.
Okay.
So yeah, this is another case of my offensive line is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Because last year they did, despite having on paper not really that bad of an offensive line. One of the best tackles in football, protecting you, but things still did not go well. Yeah, Stroud definitely had a bit of a sophomore slump. He was nothing like Bryce Young, where Bryce kind of exploded his second year, and CJ Stroud. So I think CJ Stroud started out at too high of a level, um, and set the expectations way too high. But yeah, Stroud. I mean, been a big part of Nico Collins's kind of surge, and also like the Texans won a playoff game.
Yep.
Like they weren't great, and they were a lot worse than people expected them to be. I think their expectations were way too high, but like this team got to a playoff game, won a playoff game against a good Chargers team and a good coach, then give the Chiefs a run for their money, and so.
And I don't think Stroud regressed as much as a lot of people say. Like his weapons, Nico spent a lot of the year hurt. Tank Dell missed a lot of the season and was out. Stephon Diggs tore his ACL and was gone. Like, there were a couple weeks there where it was Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie as your wide receiver 1 and 2. Like, that's not
Brown, yep.
great. Yeah, no Brown. And their offensive line was atrocious. And even Laramie Tunsil, he was the most penalized tackle in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That really sets your offense back. Anytime they'd have a big play, it'd get called back because Tunsil is dumb, apparently. Like the Minnesota game, he had 7 false starts on his own. Like, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be one of the 5 best tackles in football, and that's how you played. Like, I think CJ, like, he regressed a little, like, just watching him. But, like, this idea that he dropped off huge, I don't think he did. His team dropped off huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they should be in a bit of a better spot next year. Should. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, our consensus number 7. This is one that Miller said was atrocious over Dak. When I sent him my list, Jalen Hurts is number 7.
How high did Miller rank Dak?
Over 10. He didn't have Hurts on his list.
What?
Miller had Dak, maybe not 10. It was either. Dak was at 7 for him. Hurts wasn't on his list at all.
The fact that he put Purdy on his list over Hurts genuinely causes me pain. What has Purdy done?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Played really well once with the best roster in football. Yeah, Jalen's been to multiple, but
right.
Purdy does it with the worst or with the best roster in football, and then the minute that even slightly gets worse, he's suddenly not even mediocre. Last year he was awful by every metric.
Yeah, and like the thing that really sets Jalen Hurts apart from him for me is like, okay, first of all, I'm not tripping. Brock Purdy Super Bowl they played the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, like in the 2 Super Bowls that Jalen Hurts has played, is A, 1-1, and B, he just completely blew Mahomes out of the water in both of them.
I was gonna say he has been like the best quarterback on the field
Mahomes
in both Super Bowls.
Mahomes is consensus the best big game, best quarterback, period. And in 2 of the biggest games of their lives, Jalen Hurts has stepped onto the field with him and just been flat out way better.
Yep. Both times.
And so like, and Purdy, I don't know his stats from the game, but A, they lost. Mahomes probably outplayed him. And B, I'm sure Mahomes just outplayed him, right? Like that's
let's look.
So Jalen Hurts is able to elevate his game to a point where he can actually take on quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and beat quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. But like,
so Purdy didn't play poorly. He was 23 of 38 for 255 yards and a touchdown. Mahomes was 34 of 46 for 333 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right. So he did just get outdueled. Purdy played well, but not well enough.
Jalen Hurts has shown the capability to step up and outduel Mahomes. Right.
Yep.
Which is something that not every quarterback can say because Josh Allen's never beaten him in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson's never beaten him in the playoffs. But like, not that those guys aren't better than Jalen Hurts, but what Hurts does consistently in big games is noteworthy. You
Yep.
know, he's a fantastic runner. Purdy can't move nearly as well as I would say their arm talent is comparable, if not an advantage for Hurts. So
Yeah.
I would say that Hurts is probably a better passer and a better runner, and he elevates his team in the game more. You
Yep.
know, like obviously like people are like, oh, but when they put in what would happen to the Eagles if they just put in Kenny Pickett last year? I bet they would have still won games.
No.
And then Kenny Pickett came in and threw a pass backwards and fell over while he did it.
What was that game? That was the game where they nearly choked a 30-point lead. Or did they fully choke the 30-point lead to Washington?
It was either Dallas or Washington.
It was
or
Washington.
The Giants or something.
I know that.
It was a divisional game. Pickett fell over.
I gotta find this. I gotta find this. Yeah, no, it was the game that they completely choked.
Yep.
They had the 21-0 lead in the first quarter and completely choked because Jalen got hurt. And Pickett came in and just looked atrocious. Because
yeah, I mean Pickett sucked.
That was always a thing, right? Good leaders at quarterback have always mattered. That was a thing for Brady. That was a thing for Manning. It's a thing for Jalen Hurts. He knows how to rally the troops, right? I get that the Niners were injured last year. Purdy didn't rally the troops. When he didn't have the troops, he just looked bad.
Yeah.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I wish Miller was here so I could fight him.
But yeah, since we talked about Purdy, we can talk about, before we move on to number 6, we can talk about Kyler.
Oh,
He's
sure.
an honorable mention. Kyler was a guy that I considered putting on my list. I will admit I just did like a ranking quiz, so like I had to tweak a few things because some things came out weird because I didn't actually get to like compare every single player against each other. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of go based on like who you put above who. So Kyler, I think, was number 11 or 12 for me by the end of it. Listen, man, like, it's just like, he just never had a good team.
Yep.
Ever. Like, he would have won MVP the year that he tore his ACL.
Yep.
I think that was pretty clear that was going to happen. I don't remember if it was the same year, but there was a year where the Cardinals, I don't even remember, I think his top weapon was AJ Green, and they were 8-0 on the year. But before the Packers beat them, that was like a few years ago. Like the game that ended on the Rasul Douglas interception in the end zone on AJ Green, like his top weapon was a 95-year-old AJ Green, and they were like 6 or 7 or maybe 8-0.
Yeah.
You know, like they hadn't lost a game. You know, and Gannon's a good coach. He's not an offensive guy, but he's a good coach.
Yep.
And MHJ is gonna get better.
Yep.
And Trey McBride's awesome. So the weapons are getting there, and Kyler like wasn't even that bad last year. He had some seriously crazy moments last year. He's a great runner. He's got one of the best arms in the league. He just needs to use it better. And what Kyler needs is to be smarter, right? Like, that's just like he's just kind of dumb. Son.
I don't even think it's that. I think it is entirely he is so used to not having a good defense and not having a ton of talent around him. He just plays superhero ball all the time.
Yeah,
and that causes issues sometimes. But also it leads to some crazy plays. The Hail Murray, for example.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was back when D-Hop existed. Was it good for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, I would put him on the list before I would put Purdy. Hand up, I would.
I did.
I think Purdy is what?
People won't like my answer to this, so I'm gonna stay quiet.
Why can't I think of the fourth? Oh, yeah, Brock Purdy is the worst quarterback in his division.
I guess that depends on your view of Sam Darnold, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you have to.
Sam Darnold was in the NFC West last year, played the exact same season. He would be the consensus bottom one. So if Sam Darnold plays like he did last year,
yep,
that's my take.
Yep.
We'll put him at 3 for now. We'll put Darnold at 4 just in case Darnold turns into a pumpkin.
We have to go off the history, and the history is that Darnold's kind of a pumpkin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean,
If he
two of the biggest
stays as
games
what he
of his
was
life
last year,
back,
yeah.
and
I have to give him a little bit of grace for that, though, because those were the first 2 games in his life that had any sort of stakes. He didn't play in games with stakes
that's
in college.
true.
He didn't play in games with stakes at the
That's
NFL
true.
level. So, like, you got to give him a little grace. That was the first time he'd felt that kind of pressure, and there was a lot. Because you were at the point where it's like, this team has the same record as the Lions. Is this a Super Bowl contender? Can Sam Darnold? That's a lot of pressure.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So maybe he'll be better. Maybe he won't. We'll find out.
Also, just a little break in the action here. I completely forgot to do this earlier, but since Miller isn't here, I asked him to think of an icebreaker question for us to answer.
Oh,
And what he gave us was, "What's your favorite thing about Miller football?" Um, he said that he expects real answers or he will riot.
he put Brock
And then
Purdy
he,
in the top 10. I don't.
maybe I should have asked this before I told you that.
Maybe.
Um, but yeah, my favorite thing about Miller football is that he's like,
You cut out.
I think
He's like,
oh, my favorite David Miller is like, he's basically just another me.
huh?
Like
Okay.
I just think me and Miller's sense of humor clicks so easily, and I mean it usually is at the expense of somebody else on this podcast, but our sense of humor clicks pretty effortlessly. Oftentimes we'll like either be thinking of the same joke and one of us will say it, and the other one of us will be like, we'll just be like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking, Yeah, I just think Miller's a good dude. What? Okay, he is like, yeah, I mean he's one of the better dudes that I've met via the internet. Sometimes
Yeah.
internet people are like weird and creepy like Geek, and sometimes
What the
they're
fuck did I
super
do?
funny and they're super funny and nice like Miller. And so
What the
we
fuck
got
did I
one
do?
of we got one of we got one of everything on this podcast.
No.
We have
What the fuck did I
streamer
do?
cre
No.
I
You're
don't
gonna fucking answer this. What the fuck did I do?
I'm just honoring Miller by saying something that would have made him
That's fucked up.
if he was here.
That's fucked up.
So yeah, anyway, so fine. You know what? Fine. Sometimes you get creepy bozos like Grayson.
There you
Sometimes you
go.
get nice and funny people like Miller. And Miller's one of the
There
nice,
you go.
funny people on the internet who's not a complete jerk and is actually someone that you can love. Geek?
Feel like he's taking shots at me there again. Uh Now I'm a jerk and I'm unlovable. No.
No, Grayson is.
So I could go with the cop out answer and just be like, he runs D&D. That's the best thing about Miller. He is
Favorite DM.
good DM.
Yes.
Favorite DM. Good work. I mean, you said it though. Like Miller is like actively one of the best people I know. So there you go. I don't know why this turned into a Miller football appreciation podcast. He's not dead, I swear. He is
that was
alive.
his question, though.
I don't know
That
if
was
he's
his
well,
question.
but he is alive.
He's alive. Really.
So.
Cool. All right.
All right, who's
Let's
at
move on
number
to
six, Jake?
Number 6 on our consensus list is Matthew Stafford.
True.
Matthew Stafford was, I think he was 6 across the board. I had to, if I had to guess, I think he was. I had him at X. Taylor had him at 6. I think you might have had him at 6.
I think so.
Had him at 6. Yeah. So this one was consensus because everybody put him there.
I was gonna say our top
I think
5 is probably consensus,
top
maybe not
5
the
is-
exact spots, but
our top 5 pool of players is all the same.
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of variation. But Matthew Stafford, just one of the straight up the best flat out quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Just, remarkably accurate, precise, poised.
Wicked smart.
Yeah, I mean, I got a super high IQ. Gets the ball out quick, can throw at any angle.
And maybe the toughest quarterback in football.
Yeah, maybe the toughest quarterback in football. Doesn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Work with really any weapon. I mean, just like, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because like everybody when the Goff and instead we'll talk about Goff in a second because 5. I
No.
put him at
If
1.
either of you put Goff in the top 15, I'm burning your house down.
But anyway, when like the Goff trade happened, everybody was like, "Oh, Lions get the younger quarterback, and it'll be so much better.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford will get them 1 ring, and then they'll flop." Stafford has been better every single year they've been in their respective new cities,
Yep.
and they won a ring, and they've made the playoffs more years than Goff has in Detroit.
Yeah.
So things are working out for them with that trade.
It's also really tough because if the Lions still had Stafford, they probably win the last 2 rings.
They definitely would have won last year.
I think they would have won the year before. They got to the title game against the Niners and lost because Goff's
true.
Goofed.
I don't know if they would have beaten the Chiefs, but that's...
I so badly want to see a Stafford Mahomes Super Bowl. I just do.
We got Stafford and Burrow. That was good.
The issue is Burrow didn't have an offensive line, so he just got eaten.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I mean, not much you can say against Matthew Stafford at this point. He got the ring, but he's always been
Hall of Famer? I think easily, but
I don't know his career stats off the top of my head, but
I think he's already top 10 in everything.
You get a ring as a quarterback, you're pretty much in, I think. Like, getting a ring as a quarterback goes a long way in Hall of Fame. But
passing career leaders. Stafford is somewhere. He is number 10 in passing yards. He is... We'll get there sometime. Number 10 in passing touchdowns. And weird stat, he is... I have no idea. I looked at passer rating. I have no clue. Oh, he's tied for 27th. What a weird list. Who do you think's the top 5 players all time in passer rating?
Tom Brady.
Nope.
Rodgers.
Rodgers is number 1.
Montana.
No, he's at 26.
Rodgers.
So Rodgers is 1.
Marino?
Nope. Here, I'll help.
All are there any other
in the top 6? They're all modern.
Are any of them active besides Rodgers?
All of them are active.
All of them are active besides Rodgers?
Yep. In the top 10, there's only one inactive guy.
Rodgers, Mahomes.
Mahomes is 2.
Burrow?
Burrow is number 4.
Herbert? No.
Herbert is not here.
Not Justin. No. Older guy? Either of the two ones remaining over 30?
One of them.
Was Flacco? No way. Who's old? Russell? It's not Russell.
It's Russell Wilson is number 5. You're looking for number 3 still.
Number 3? Is he like... Has he been in the league for more than 3 years?
Yes.
Like 6 years?
Yes.
Baker? No.
No. Same draft class.
Josh Allen?
Nope. Who's the best quarterback in that class?
Who's the best quarterback in that class?
Yeah.
No, is Josh Allen not in that class?
No, he's in that class.
Lamar Jackson?
Yes, sir.
What? Passer rating?
Lamar Jackson is 3rd all-time in passer rating. Number 6 is the grossest answer. It's Deshaun.
Well, that's because he's hasn't played.
When he did previously, he was good. I bet he was higher on this list 2 years ago.
Might have been. Yeah, that's
Drew
horrible.
Brees is at 7. Dak is at 8. Tua is at 9. And the worst of them all, Jimmy Garoppolo is number 10.
That makes sense.
Kirk is number 11. Tom Brady is at 12.
He's not in the top 5. That's insane to me.
Teddy Bridgewater is in the top 30.
How many full seasons did Teddy Bridgewater play?
2.
2? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 2.
2 really good seasons will get you, I think.
2 really good seasons, and then every time you come off the bench, you being just good. Maybe not great, but just always good.
Yep.
All right. Sorry, that was a distraction.
Number 5 is Justin Herbert. I'm
guessing Miller had him at like 4. Or did you have him at 4?
I had him at 4. Miller had him at 5.
Okay. I also had him at 5.
So who did I put him over that you guys didn't?
Burrow.
No, I had him at 5. I misread. My bad.
Oh, so we all agreed on that one too.
Yeah. We all agreed on Burrow. Sorry, and Burrow, I think.
Yeah.
Herbert. Yeah, I mean, I think the Burrow Herbert debate is over for now. I think it's pretty clearly Burrow. But Herbert is just such a crazy passer of the football, dude.
He's so talented.
Just insane arm talent, huge arm, just makes any throw you possibly think of in the NFL. He's big and he's strong, and he just now that he's got Ladd, things are looking up. You know, he's kind of fallen flat in playoff games. Obviously, I don't think you can really credit that blown lead to Herbert, to the Jaguars. That's more of a Brandon Staley as your head coach, and your defense blew a 27-point lead. Trevor Lawrence is awesome, so whatever. This year I think he threw 4 picks against Houston in that playoff game, which again, playing a really good defense, but eventually you gotta start showing up. So we will see, but I don't think there's any argument for Herbert to fall into the top 5 yet.
Yeah.
I think he's still better than Stafford. I think he's got a bigger arm, and he's probably just as accurate. He just makes some of the craziest throws you've ever seen. Dude, he's capable of making throws that nobody in the league is capable of making at him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all 4 of the guys that I have above him deserve to be above him. That's it.
Yep. I tend to agree.
Number 4 is Joseph Burrow. Rough year for the Bengals, but their defense was terrible. And so there's nothing Burrow could really do. Mind you, the Bengals offense was just so good.
It was insane.
Hanging 50 on everybody, Jamar Chase win the Triple Crown with ease. They absolutely were mauling people on.
Do you remember the one Ravens Bengals game? They were both shootouts.
Jamar Chase gave me 55 fantasy points. I do remember. I do.
Those were incredible.
He had 200 yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
Over 200. Jamar Chase, and I think Joe Burrow probably passed for close to 500.
So there were 2. Burrow, the first game that was 35-34 Ravens. Burrow threw for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jamar had 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second one, they lost 41-38. And Burrow went for 392 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Jamar went for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That was the story of their season. Score 40 and lose.
Just insane offensive metrics.
Yep.
And losing. Give Burrow a good defense. They probably are competing for a Super Bowl. So
Yep.
there's that. Um, and then number 3 consensus on our list. 3. Josh Allen.
Yes. I'm so glad.
Josh
that-
Allen is number 3 on our.
So I'm curious, what were the individual rankings? Obviously, I had Josh at 3.
You had Josh at 3. I had Josh at 2, and
Really?
Miller had Josh at 3. Yep.
It was you that put Josh over Lamar and not Miller? That's shocking to me.
It was. Yep.
Because I honestly thought Lamar was going to end up at 3rd because of Miller's love for Josh. Shouts out Miller,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, I love Lamar, dude. We're talking about Josh Allen, though.
Yeah.
Right. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Yeah, I mean, MVP season, best of his career.
Yep.
Just an absolute superhuman athlete. Just as good of a runner as he's a passer, which is crazy because he's an insane passer, huge arm. And the one thing that I think really moved me about Allen this year was he completely killed the turnovers. I mean, with him it was like, what, I think he had like 22 total turnovers last year or something between fumbles and interceptions after 2 years ago. And then this past year, he just completely eliminated turnovers, completely flipped, started taking care of the ball, throwing it, didn't fumble as much in the run game. Like, he completely, like, was able to slap away the turnovers. And that's what I think really impressed me about him, was the fact that a guy who was so notorious for turning the ball over, that was kind of like the one thing with Josh Allen. Right? It was like, oh, he's superhuman runner, superhuman athlete, arm rocket for an arm, but he just keeps turning the ball over, So the fact that he knocked off the turnovers, I think, is a very good thing for me. So that's kind of what led me to put him up high.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh Allen's fantastic. Yeah.
No, that makes a ton of sense. I know he won the MVP and had the best year of his career, but I mean, by most metrics, he was still worse than Lamar. And I know we're not just looking at numbers, and I wouldn't. I think Lamar might be the most dynamic player in all of football. Like, he's insane. I know the playoff success or whatever isn't there, but it's not for... Basically, the playoff success isn't there for anyone not named Patrick Mahomes. Like, Burrow got to a Super Bowl. Stafford has the 1 ring, but it is very, like... Mahomes has most of the success. Everybody else is fighting for the scraps of what's left. And I think Lamar looked better this year in the playoffs, like by a lot. I know they still lost to the Chiefs, but... Or did they lose to whoever they lost to? Unimportant. I think they lost to the Bills. Yep.
Unimportant. On a dropped Mark Andrews 2-point conversion that would have won them the game.
I just couldn't remember if that was against the Bills or the Chiefs. But yeah. Yeah, man. Josh Allen is just incredible. His arm is ridiculous. He has completely learned how to actually be an accurate quarterback, which is nuts. And last year, I mean, their offense didn't have a ton of big play guys, and he had to become kind of a dink and dunk quarterback who could just work you down the field, and he did an incredible job at that, and he deserves his flowers. I really do think there is a clear top 3, and there's a bit of a gap. Like, these 3, there's a bit of a gap to the next 2.
Yeah, Burrow doesn't really do... Oh, you mean like a gap from Josh Allen to Lamar?
No. Like from Mahomes, Lamar, Allen to Burrow and Herbert. There's a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, Burrow... I think Burrow is just as good of a passer, but nowhere near the level of athlete.
Yep. And Herbert is the level of athlete, but he hasn't put it all together yet.
Yeah. So yeah, number 2 is Lamar Jackson. I mean, I had a fantastic season this year. Don't let the racists see his passer rating. But yeah, I mean, he's completely figured out the passing. He's just the way he moves around the pocket, he's just impossible to get a read on. It's absolutely insane the way that he lifts and reads a pocket and just like sidesteps out of danger, he's so effortless rolling to his right and making a throw. That one throw to I think Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely in the end zone where he was rolling to his right and just dotted him up. I
Yeah.
mean, just an absolute masterclass with his arm.
You want to hear
And so
the crazy thing about his passer rating this year? He led the league of like actual players because like Cortland Sutton had 2 completions on 2 attempts, but like that doesn't count. Real quarterbacks. Lamar led at a 119.6 passer rating. The guy in second was the goofball, Jared Goff, at 111.8. There is an 8-point difference between him and second best.
I mean, yeah, best passer rating in the league this year, like by a mile. And yeah, I mean, best running quarterback in the league by a country mile. Nobody comes close to being able to move through a pocket as well as he does, or the way that he rolls. Like he's nuts.
You want crazy stat number 2 about Lamar?
Sure.
I'm just looking at NFL.com's stats. He led the league in 40-plus yard passes while having the best passer rating in football.
Yep. So there it is.
Ridiculous.
Man. He has figured out the passing game, and he's figured it out on a consistent level, and that was always the knock on him. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson has a very good argument to be the top guy in this league. Yep. If things continue to trend the way they are for him, and the way they are for the other guy too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then number 1, and Miller once noted that he thinks you're trying too hard to be different if you put in anybody else here. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, still currently, yeah.
One
more year, man. If Lamar is Lamar for another year and Mahomes is the last few years of Mahomes, I'm changing it.
Mahomes, yeah, I mean, laid an egg in the Super Bowl.
Again.
Didn't have any time. Yeah, again. Didn't have any time. Just the second you throw him off his rhythm, it feels like it's over for him. Because good pass rush in Tampa, I couldn't do anything. Good pass rush in Philly, couldn't do anything. But to not just talk negatively about Mahomes, he's the best quarterback in football. He best arm talent in the league, makes a throw from anywhere. His scrambling is insane. He moves through a pocket fluidly. He can pass in and out of the pocket. He can pass on the run. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's insanely accurate. He's still the best quarterback in football. He's still the best thrower of the football in the league. Like, he just the arm angles, the plays, the heart, the motivation he plays with. I mean, he's still the best quarterback in the NFL. But the gap between him and the next guy is the closest it's been in his career, I think. I think from the moment Patrick Mahomes took the crown, the gap has never been smaller than it is right now between number 2. Because not even solely because of him, it's just Lamar has been like completely, playing the league on fire. Over Josh Allen won an MVP, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. This is the closest it's maybe ever been. Definitely for Mahomes, this is the closest it's been for somebody else to be better. I'm excited, man. Football's cool.
Yeah, football is cool. Yeah. We haven't talked about a ton of football on this podcast recently. So
it's because there's not a lot of football.
Right, yeah.
We're at the worst time of year. The last 5 weeks before training camp just sucks.
It does, yeah, it does.
But hey, that's what baseball's for. And NBA free agency. Which one are we talking about first?
We'll get baseball out of the way. It'll be a less of a conversation, I think.
All-Star starters have been announced.
Yes, they have.
I do gotta say, I think the world's kind of stupid. So when it came to the voting for the All-Star game, the Cubs catcher, do you remember his name? Because I don't. Carson Kelly.
For the longest. Oh, yeah.
Carson Kelly got the fan vote as the number 2 catcher in the National League.
Yes, he did.
He has picked it up since the last time I looked at his numbers. He's batting .264, 9 home runs, 29 RBIs, and has been okay defensively. I'm trying to see his exact defensive metrics, but Baseball Reference is annoying.
What are you trying to argue who should be over?
Hunter Goodman, the guy who's second in all of baseball in every offensive metric for catchers, only behind Cal Raleigh. Which Cal Raleigh doesn't count. He's not human. Hunter Goodman has... The Rockies have one good thing going for him, and it's Hunter Goodman. And by every metric, he's better than Carson Kelly, except for one place for the Cubs and one place for the Rockies.
I say the Rockies should try being more relevant.
Well, shh.
It just should.
Shh. Doesn't count. I don't care.
But yeah, quick run through of the All-Star starters. The American League catcher Cal Raleigh, no questions there. 33 home runs in 84 games is absolutely insane. 1.024 OPS. Has the best nickname in baseball, or one of them. Do you know his nickname?
No.
His teammates call him Big Dumper.
Nice.
I love Big Dumper.
Oh, I just read that. All right. Yeah, okay.
Runner-up was Alejandro Kirk for the Blue Jays.
Nice.
First base, Vladdy. Yeah, I mean, he's got a 380 on base percentage, 828 OPS, 12 home runs. Yeah, I mean, 4 in the last 5 years for Vladdy, going crazy. Second base, Gleyber Torres for the Tigers, best team in baseball. He's got a crazy WAR. He's second only to Keltel Marte, who we'll talk about in a second, in WAR for second baseman this year. Jackson Holliday, runner-up, the boy that we all talked about stinking.
No, he's good.
For
he's
an
good.
All-Star this year.
So weird, though. Can we talk about that for a second? How he was awful when the Orioles didn't need good players last year. Like, they were already good. They didn't need him to carry any load. He was awful. Now, nobody's good on that team, and they need somebody to carry the load, and suddenly he's the best player on the Orioles. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Shortstop, Jacob Wilson, the Athletics. He's been crazy this year. He's got a 339 batting average. I mean, he's only second batting average to Judge. He's mashing the baseball. Bobby Wood Jr., the runner-up, obviously. Third base, Jose Ramirez for the Guardians. He's just doing his thing. He does it every year. With Alex Bregman as a runner-up. DH is Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. The Orioles suck this year. They're not really relevant, but they're some of their guys are making it. Outfield is Aaron Judge, Javier Baez, and Riley Green. So 2 Tigers in the outfield.
Javi making it's crazy.
Yeah, Javi's been so good this year. Yeah. I mean, he absolutely sucked.
Mike Trout gets another one. The GOAT.
Yeah, Mike Trout, Stephen Kwan, runners up for the outfield. But yeah, Judge, obviously best player in baseball this year. Riley Green on the best team in baseball, been really good. Javier Baez, best team in baseball, really good. National League catcher Will Smith, runner-up Carson Kelly. First base Freddie Freeman, with Pete Alonso as the runner-up. Freeman's hitting 308 with 21 doubles, 10 homers, 43 RBIs, crazy. Ketel Marte at second base for the D-backs with Tommy Edman, another Dodger as the runner-up.
It's all Dodgers, man.
Yep, Francisco Lindor at shortstop with Mookie Betts, Dodger as a runner-up. Third base, Manny Machado with Max Muncy, Dodger as the runner-up. Designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani, Dodgers.
There's not even a runner-up for the National League DH, which is so funny.
Ronald Acuna Jr., Pete Armstrong, and Kyle Tucker in the outfield. Runner-up, Teoscar Hernandez, Dodgers. Juan Soto, Mets. Andy Page's Dodgers. I don't even know who that is.
Andy Pages.
Andy Pages, yes, Dodgers. So every single position that has a runner-up is the Dodger. Oh, that is and there are some Dodgers starting.
That's crazy.
So that should tell you what there being no salary cap in baseball.
It's not.
Um,
It's one of those things though where like I don't think that's as big of a deal as most people think it is. I think there should be a salary floor. Your team should be forced to spend a minimum amount of money. Force the Rockies, the A's, and these other teams to actually try to compete instead of just cheap out as much as possible.
mhm.
Like, because a lot of teams can beat the Dodgers. They just can. We saw it 2 years ago when the Diamondbacks swept them. Nobody thought the Diamondbacks were going to do anything, and then they swept the Dodgers. Like, I don't know. The salary cap thing bugs me. I don't think it's needed. It's baseball.
Yeah, and pitchers aren't up to date.
Yep.
So, you do not
Um,
know.
just speaking of baseball, anything crazy going on in the world? The Blue Jays are winning the AL East. Well,
With a
tied.
win today, they'll be in first in the AL East. They're tied. They're playing the Yankees, and they're up 6-5 in the bottom of the seventh right now. But the Blue Jays are 40-38. Sorry, 48-38. They worth 41-37.
Yeah.
So they're 7-1 in their last 8 games.
Yeah.
Hopefully, making it 8-1 their last 9. They're playing some fantastic baseball. Vladdy's heating up. George Springer, fantastic. Nathan Lukes has been really good. Addison Barger. The young guys are showing up. It's starting to. The pitching is really good. Chris Bassett and Jeff Hoffman's been great in the bullpen. The team is just clicking. And yeah, obviously Bichette is really good and his offense is good. I'm not sure he'll be a J by the deadline. That does concern me because I'm not sure they're willing to hand him the money, and then walk would be dumb and free agency. So hopefully they get some kind of deal done for him. Either that's an extension or a trade.
Okay.
But hopefully some kind of deal is done.
So I have a question for you.
Hmm?
You're the Jays, right? You have a chance to win the AL East, go on a playoff run. Would you rather trade Bichette and get something for him, but lose in the first round of the playoffs, or keep Bichette, go on a run, whether you win the World Series or not, whatever. You go on a run, but you lose Bichette for nothing. Which would you rather have?
Trade him for something.
Then have a chance at a run? I don't think without him you can win things. Not this year.
Yeah, well,
It's nice when your
the
team
thing
sucks.
about
I can just
that-
say trade people.
yeah, no, I mean like, Paul Bichette is like obviously really good, but I do, yeah, I mean, they could make a year without him. I think like they're playing good baseball without him now. Like he hasn't played in like 5 days, and they
Okay.
haven't lost without him. But it depends on what the package would be. It would have to be really good. But letting him walk for nothing feels so stupid to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make me not mad about that is that they won the World.
Yeah. Okay.
But I guess having him would be the best chance at that. But this is the conundrum.
Yep, it is. That's why I asked.
I love Bo as a vibes guy. I'm gonna say
We'll give you Ryan McMahon and
it would crush me to see
somebody.
him go because he's a good player and also because Vladdy would be depressed for like 4 weeks. Probably just play terrible baseball because.
All right, we'll give you Ryan McMahon, we'll give you Mickey Moniak, and we'll give you whoever our top prospect is.
I don't want to see my Pookie playing. I don't want to see him become irrelevant.
He wouldn't. He'd get to go to the team where his dad almost won an MVP and probably should have.
The most irrelevant team in the league.
We're not the White Sox, buddy, or the Marlins.
The Marlins. Yeah, the Marlins.
Even when we're bad, we're still more relevant than those shitholes. We're still more relevant than the Pirates, outside of Skeens, but nobody cares about the Pirates.
As far as baseball goes, only other thing that's notable is that the Tigers are the best team. They got Tariq Skubal dealing on the mound. They got great offense. Obviously, they got some all-stars this year. Things are clicking in Detroit. Yeah, I mean, other than the Rockies being potentially historically bad and the White Sox sucking still and the Athletics being
We're catching
terrible.
up. We're only 8 games back of the White Sox. We're gonna pass them.
This is what baseball is going to be. By the way, these next few months is me saying how close the Jays are to a playoff spot, and Geek saying how close they are to passing the White Sox.
Yeah, man, that's all that matters to me.
That'll be what baseball talk is for the next few months. It's
No, for the
just,
next few
oh,
weeks, because in 3 weeks we get the trade deadline. Stuff will happen.
that's true. Yeah,
Both of
hopefully.
our teams will probably trade away people, and we'll be sad.
Yeah, at the trade away ball, there's gonna be a full like memorial service on this podcast.
Dude,
So
I
serious, bro. That would be the worst thing that ever
I'm
happened to me. I love
concerned.
him. Other than trading Vladdy, but that's
I'm concerned that I'm gonna be crushed. Also, I'm really concerned that Brenton Doyle's getting traded, man, and that's gonna hurt my soul. My goat.
I start playing some better
He's
baseball.
right there. My goat. He's right there.
But yeah, that's the MLB. All-Star game coming up soon. Home Run Derby coming up soon. That'd be dope. Yeah, the NBA. We talked about this a little bit with our resident Rocket fan Steven last week, but Kevin Durant traded to the Rockets for 5 second-round picks: Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Phoenix gets a young guy to hopefully build around if Jalen Green can be any good. And the Rockets get their desperately needed clutch time scorer in Kevin Durant. The biggest problem with the Rockets with the Warriors series this year was that whenever it got down to clutch time, it was hard to figure out who's going to get the ball. Jalen Green should be the guy. Wasn't the guy. Van Vliet could be the guy at some points, but now they have a guy where in any moment, in any game, even if it doesn't work out, they know who the ball is going to when it's clutch time and they need a bucket. There's just no question about it. And the Rockets are so good and they're so young. Sengun and Jabari Smith and Amen Thompson, they're just demons on defense. They're good on offense. So young, Tari Eason, and yeah, I mean Jalen Green was the worst of their young core, and they got to get rid of him. You know, as opposed to the Suns being like, hey, give us Jabari or Tari or Amen. You know,
Did you see the report that came out yesterday? That they might be reworking the Kevin Durant deal to make it a historic 7-team trade. Apparently, it's getting reworked. The Nets, Warriors, Lakers, Hawks, and Timberwolves all want in to exchange some players somehow.
oh, okay,
That's good.
weird.
I don't
Yeah.
know what it's going to be. That's just going to be insane. I want to see a 7-team trade so bad. Just add some stuff. I want to see what goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that's that. For the Durant deal, obviously, I think the Rockets is good for them because they get a high level scorer, and yeah, I mean they definitely were a bit of yeah, just needed a veteran to score. Van Vliet can hit threes and he can score, and that's fine, but like you needed somebody.
You needed a
Yeah,
real bucket.
yeah. Yeah, a couple other things that have gone on in NBA free agency. Shai gets signed to the absolute extreme supermax. Would have thought that was going to happen. They re-signed Jalen Williams, the bad one. Haven't re-signed J-Dub yet. The DeAndre Ayton gets bought out by the Pacers, yeah, the Blazers, and signs with the Lakers today. The Lakers have a center. Um, and yeah, the Bucks waived Damian Lillard and then took all his money and gave it to Miles Turner. So they cut Damian Lillard and then just took Damian Lillard's money and said, "Hey, Miles Turner, come play for us."
I
And he
hate
did.
that for the Pacers.
I do too. I think if I was Halliburton and Carlisle, I would be at the front office's door the next morning with
Though,
pitchforks.
I guess to be fair, I mean, Hallie's not playing next year.
Probably. Not. Yeah.
So
It's a long season.
maybe it's just the idea of be bad, get number 1 overall pick, add some stuff with Hallie because you don't want to be mid with Miles Turner, I guess.
Hmm.
And that's like the only thing in my head that makes it kind of make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The Timberwolves lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and I'm sad.
Yeah, that was Atlanta?
Yeah.
No. Was Atlanta? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, makes it pretty tough.
Yeah,
Um,
he was a big part of the Wolves playoff run this year, so it sucks to see him go.
so part
But
of me is
yeah.
rooting for Mike Connolly to be part of this deal, whatever that trade is. Somehow we get rid of him, and maybe we add Dame, and then we let Rob Dillingham take over the Nikhil minutes. That's just my brain playing hopes. It's
Hmm.
probably not going to work. What's his face? DeAndre Ayton's going to be a Laker. They have a center now. Is he any good? Nah.
Did you literally just repeat the exact same thing I just said?
Maybe I totally didn't hear you.
I said that he got bought up by the Blazers and that he signed with the Lakers today and that they finally have a center. Those words came out of my.
I did not hear them at all.
Are
My
you
bad, dude.
kidding me?
That's incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, DeAndre Ayton is a Laker. They have a center.
Do
He
they?
wasn't great in Portland.
Is he
We'll
any
see about
good?
that. Did you see the little funny thing that the Timberwolves pulled?
No.
In the draft?
No.
They said they had the 17th overall pick, and they said, "What about second French center?" And they got another one.
Nice.
Um,
Is this
so
one
this
good?
guy though, yeah. So let me tell you a little bit
Please.
Joanne Beringer. So he's number 17 overall pick. Monster on defense. He's good at switching. Really impactful in the pick and roll on offense. Lob threat. Good cutter. Super athletic, mobile. Can defend all 5 positions. Um, and yeah. Your NBA compare. I even looked this up for you.
Okay.
Put this together. Your NBA comparisons for him are Clint Capella and Nick Claxton.
Interesting.
Those are the kind of guys you're looking at. Nick Claxton, I don't know if you know much about him, but he's like a super athletic defensive center for the
Yeah.
Nets. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be pretty good. The Raptors got baby Draymond Green. So if he
Nice.
doesn't go insane, then he'll be really good. He'll be really good either way, but I'm hoping he doesn't go insane. That's just that. But he's basically just a super athletic, high IQ defensive guy. And they also got the guard Elijah Martin from Florida, who had a fantastic tournament run, a big part of their national championship. So I'm excited about him. Um, Other than that, I mean, notable picks like Cooper Flag obviously went number 1 overall to Duke. The Spurs get Dylan Harper, which sucks. Another guard for the Spurs. They got a lot of those.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
So
Yeah.
I I hate basketball because I so the Mavericks also added D'Lo.
It did, yep.
They
And
got
re-signed
Cooper.
Kyrie.
Yeah, and they re-signed Kyrie, and they got Cooper Flag, and they still have 80. The Mavs are gonna win the finals next year, man. They're gonna win a ring.
I mean, they're gonna be really good.
They're gonna win a
They're
ring,
gonna be.
and that fucking douchebag GM of theirs, fucking
I mean,
Nico,
dude,
is gonna
Nico
get to be
Harris.
like,
I
I was
mean,
so
dude,
right.
listen,
I
like
cooked. Fuck you.
I mean, like it has yet to bite them.
I know it sucks.
It was too late in the season for like the Lakers or the Mavericks to really fully evaluate how things were going, and then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere, terrible odds, and get the number 1 overall pick, and the Lakers lose in the first round, and Kyrie resigns, and AD is going to be healthy, and they get Cooper Flag, like, they sign D'Lo. Like,
That's ridiculous, dude.
dogs wandering.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah. I mean, honestly, there hasn't really been a ton going on in NBA free agency.
It wasn't the biggest free agency year. I mean, Chris Paul, Malcolm Brogdon, Marvin Bagley, Chris Boucher.
Yeah, I mean, and none of those guys have even signed yet.
Yeah, but
Chris
those are like
Paul
the big
hasn't
names
even.
left. That's not huge names.
Yeah,
He's
Chris
still
Paul
in the
obviously hasn't
league?
signed. Aaron Jackson Jr. got it. Who?
Doug McDermott. I didn't know Dougie McBuckets was
Yeah,
still out
he
here.
is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Suns are gonna buy out Bradley Beal after that worked out horribly for them.
Okay, if you're Devin Booker, do you demand a trade at this point?
Probably should. Yeah.
Just get me the hell out of here. Maybe he's getting added to the big trade and he's going somewhere. I'm just
Yeah. I
yapping.
mean, I don't know. I mean I don't know what's going on with him. Um. Yeah. I mean, pretty much like Nas Reed is back with the Timberwolves, and him to a big deal. So got Nas Reed back.
Yeah.
Julius Randle back to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that. I
Eh.
think Kuminga's still out there.
Yep.
Restricted free agent. The Lakers, Dorian Finney-Smith to the Rockets. They're one of the better teams in the league, and just got to add him, so that's good. Ty Jerome, a big part of the Cavs this year, goes to Memphis.
Yep.
Brooke Lopez to the Cavs, replaced by Miles Turner, and Dennis Schroeder to the Kings. It's just weird. I mean, they're not doing anything. And then Tyus Jones from the Suns, they lost him to the Magic. Um, Jordan Clarkson to the Knicks. I didn't know about that one.
Yep.
But he finally gets out of Utah after all those years of suffering. Clint Capella also to the Rockets. I mean, they're really doing some serious work in free agency, which is good. About it. Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it. So other than Spencer Dinwiddie to the Hornets and Kevon Looney to the Pelicans. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much the NBA. Wimbledon. We'll talk about some tennis. All you tennis heads out there. Hopefully Nicole's listening. He'll care. But Yannick Sinner, crazy today. Ben Shelton, insane today. Had some crazy plays. Yannick Sinner is blowing by Wimbledon. He should be because he's obviously got like he's like the best player. He's the number one overall seed in the tournament, so he's just mowing through people to start out. Ben Shelton's really good. Keller Alcaraz. I hope we get an Alcaraz in Sinner finals. Had a great match in the French Open. What else? WNBA. H. Beckers breaks the record for most All-Star votes for a rookie. I mean, he been new. Average 23 points in the month of June. Love it. And yeah, I mean the Wings got another win tonight. Might be heating up. Don't let them get hot. Don't let the Wings get hot. Just saying. Don't let the Wings get hot. Although they did one of our players really, really dirty. The front office crushed the dreams of one of our players, I think. I'll never forgive them for it.
Who?
So what they did was John Carrington and Alyssa Smith are dating, right?
Okay.
So they signed Nalissa Smith, or they traded for Nalissa Smith as a way to draw in DeJounte as a free agent. They traded for Nalissa Smith and said, "Hey, DeJounte, come to Dallas. Your girlfriend plays. You're a free agent. You're good. Come with us." She said, "Okay." And then they just traded Nalissa Smith.
Oh.
The Aces.
Yeah, that's awful.
So the front office isn't doing great. Kurt Miller, I hope you don't have a job by the end of next year. Chris Conclains, I hope you don't have a job by the end of next year. You're a terrible basketball coach. Angel Reese has been playing really good, and I hate it. The Fever won the Commissioner's Cup, beat the Lynx horribly, absolutely embarrassed them. That's that. Fever are playing really good ball without Caitlin Clark. So they figured out how to play basketball without Caitlin Clark, which is a good sign for them. A bad sign for the rest of the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, there's gonna be an MVP in Minnesota. Pretty sure that's gonna happen. So
Let's
Matisse
go.
Collier might bring home their first one since EP, I think.
Probably.
I don't think there's been a Minnesota player to win an MVP in their respective league.
I'm trying to think.
2012, unless somebody from the Wild has won it, which I doubt that's happened.
I'm trying to think of the Wolves, or not the Wolves. Jesus, the Twins. No more. No did it.
The only person who would have done that would have been
Bucks
Byron
hasn't.
Buxton,
He's
but
so
he hasn't
good, but he
won it.
can't stay healthy. Did I send you? Sorry, random. Did I send you the video of Tariq Skubal and Byron Buxton?
No.
So Tariq Skubal leads off the game with a fastball. Literally every game of his career ever. He had never thrown anything other than a fastball with the first pitch of the game. Byron Buxton is like famously the guy who swings at first pitches the most. Like that is what he does. So it was this big thing because like what's going to happen? So Tariq Skubal threw a changeup and both him and Buxton just stood there smiling at each other. Skubal got the ball back and threw it to the dugout so he could keep it because it was the first time he didn't throw a fastball. And I think that's so funny.
That's crazy.
I love baseball.
Do you want to know why AI is the worst?
What did Allen Iverson?
Because the AI overview on Google was telling me that Adrian Peterson never won an MVP. That the last Minnesota sports player to win it was Joe Mauer in 2009.
Okay. So Adrian Peterson erasure. All right.
It says, while Adrian Peterson had many Offensive Player of the Year awards, he never won the NFL.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. What the fuck are we talking about? Famously, he is the last non-quarterback. Okay. Interesting.
Garnett won it in 2004.
Yep.
With the Wolves.
Mauer, I guess, in 09. Or no, in 08.
Never mind. There have been 2 WNBA Minnesota MVPs since A.
Let's go.
Maya Moore and Sylvia Fowles in 2014 and 2017. So this would be their third of.
Ooh, what about the Minnesota Frost?
I don't think
the Professional Women's Hockey League. Who's won the MVP? I don't know. I'm looking. Maybe nobody. Okay, hold on.
No.
Nope.
They just started having. This league is very new.
Yeah. I was just curious.
There's only been 2 seasons.
I know the Frost have just won the championship both years, so I kind of assumed that the MVP might be on that team.
The Toronto Scepters, Natalie Spooner, shout out to you, in the inaugural season of the league, and then Marie-Philippe Poulin of the Montreal Victoire won it this year. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to the Frost for being the only Minnesota team to win anything.
My goats.
Congratulations.
Hey man, I got to be excited over something.
But I believe we've exhausted every sports league we can talk about, so I think that's about all we got for today.
Yeah.
If you guys did enjoy this episode of Run With Podcast and you're listening on Spotify, give us a rate, give us a review. That would be awesome. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments how much you hate Grayson. See you next time.
Bye.